Design process. Any design piece, whether a website, a logo, an advertising campaign, the design of a chair, the design of a lamp, the design of a building, of a car, and so forth. Any design piece goes through a design process. And understanding design process is very important, and going through the proper stages of design process are important in order to have a successful outcome. Let's look at the design process of information design. There are 10 steps: discovery, research, hypothesis, sitemap, prototype, enhancement, implementation, user testing, evaluation, and maintenance. I went ahead and chose Cloudberry Creative as an example of a design piece, and in this case, the design of a website. And I applied the steps of the design process of information design on Cloudberry Creative, assuming that these are the steps that this company went through while working on their design process in order to build their website. Obviously, I haven't worked at Cloudberry Creative, but this is my assumption, and probably, indeed, these are the steps that they went through while building their website. So let's look at these steps, starting obviously with discovery. Discovery is identifying the problem or the need. Cloudberry is a design and interactive company based in New York City. They have a growing business and feel it is time to establish an online presence in order to provide information about their work to current and future clients. So this is the first part. It's the discovery of a problem or the discovery of a need, the need to build a website, the need to have an online presence. Step 2 is research, understanding the market and audiences. Once their need has been identified, Cloudberry moves on to studying the market, in other words, similar creative companies, and audiences, potential clients, as well as other people that are likely to visit their site. The study will allow them to understand what it is they should do to differentiate themselves through their website. The third step is hypothesis, proposing a solution that meets a specific goal. The outcome of their research tells Cloudberry that the website they intend to create needs to be cutting edge and have a slick, minimalistic yet bold look with just enough animation to communicate the professional yet fun image of their company. If this is achieved successfully, then their goal of growing their business and acquiring more clients will be met. Once the style of the website has been decided, the information that should appear on the website is collected and organized logically and hierarchically on a sitemap. A sitemap can also be called a flowchart, and that's working on the information architecture of the site, starting with an opening page, which is the home page, that leads to a primary navigation, and in the case of Cloudberry Design, the About, Approach, Services, Clients, and Contact navigation items, in addition to a secondary navigation under the About and Approach buttons. Step 5 is prototyping, creating mock-ups to visualize the proposed solution. Wireframes. What wireframes are, basically what goes where. That's what wireframes are. Think of it as wires, the external wires or the borders that limit and divide section from section. So an idea can be a header at the top, a section for the logo, inside the header on the left, 5 navigation items on the right side, a feature photo under the navigation, a heading section, a 3-column design at the bottom consisting of an image with a heading and paragraph underneath, and then a footer section, and so forth. So what wireframes are, basically wires that organize a layout into sections. So there are no styling attributes here, there are no colors yet, there are no images, there is nothing related to style, there is only an organization of what should go where. On the right side, the section is an explanation of what each section is in more detail. So A would be the explanation of what the feature photo would be, whether it has any interactivity related to it, such as a cycle plugin, for example, and so forth. What the images C, D, and E are, how they relate to the paragraphs underneath, and so on. Now, when we look at the next slide, notice how everything takes its place. So where you see logo, you are going to see the logo replacing this rectangle. Where you see those 5 links, you're going to see the 5 links with the selected font size, font type, color, everything that is styled instead of those 5 links. Where you see feature photo, you're going to see the actual photo, and so forth. So let me go ahead and move to the next slide and just notice how all the styling attributes will replace those wires. So the logo took its place on the top left corner, the navigation items on the right, the feature photo in the big main rectangle, and then the heading section with a nice cool interactivity that happens here and that changes upon hover, and then the 3 columns at the bottom consisting of image, title, and paragraph. So this is called a style frame. We're still in step 5. Step 5 is prototyping, and it is made up of A and B, if you will. A is wireframes and B is style frames. Style frames are basically when style, color, images, fonts, font size are applied to the wires. Step 6 is enhancement, basically enhancing imperfections discovered in wireframes and style frames. What worked, what did not work, and what should change. Step 7 is implementation, coding and development. Once the design is complete, the wireframes and the style frames look pretty neat. Coding and development happens. The coding of the wires, the coding of the style frames, and then a program is written so that the website is built. User testing, examining the product with users. In order for their website to meet its goal, the Cloudberry designers conduct a usability test. A subject from the target audience of the site is asked to experiment with the product. The designers of the website sit with the subject to observe their behavior and also ask them to execute certain tasks. Doing so allows them to draw conclusions about the qualities and/or flaws of the product based on the user's reactions. This is important because designers always need a pair of fresh eyes that are unfamiliar with their work to help them discover imperfections that could be enhanced. Ideally, a usability test should be done with 3 to 4 different people. So let's say, for instance, we ask a user tester to find the contact section of the website. And if they're unable to do so, then there's something wrong with the navigation. The contact section is hiding somewhere. And so something should be done so that that link is not too far away, is not buried down somewhere in the website. That's just an example. Still under user testing. After a user has experimented with the product, the Cloudberry web designers have them respond to a set of questions. Was the text legible, for example? Was the subject matter easy to understand from the home page? Once you land on the home page, do you feel it's a design company or not? Was the text big enough for you to read comfortably? Was it too small? Did you understand how you can navigate through the site? Is it intuitive? Do you know where to click? Or do you have to scroll down and up in order to find your buttons? What words come to mind when you look at the overall design? Do you feel it's hip? Do you feel it's cool? Do you feel what is it you feel? Do you feel you got all the information you needed? Was there something missing you were expecting to see? Did you like the layout of the site? Please explain your answer. What did you like most about the site? What did you like least about the site? Did you feel the overall style is appropriate for the subject matter? Or is this style suitable for a different kind of company, for example? Did you understand the purpose of the site? So this is a set of questions, examples of questions that are likely to be asked in such a scenario. Step 9 is evaluation, reviewing usability tests, finding imperfections, and enhancing once again. And then step 10 is maintenance. Once the website is built, it doesn't stay that way. Preserving the website in good condition, keeping it up to date, having all links work, removing old content and adding new content. A website should always be up to date, links should always work, there shouldn't ever be a link that goes to a page not found, and so forth. Finally, some definitions. What prototypes are? They enable information and interaction designs to be quickly and inexpensively tested and simulated so that potential usability problems can be discovered early on in the design process before reaching the implementation stage, which is time-consuming and costly. Wireframes are the page layout in which images and information will be placed. They should show the hierarchical organization of things on the screen, like titles, primary menus, secondary menus, sidebars, site navigation, user interaction, and so forth. Style frames are the application of style, color, texture, images, type to wireframes. Flow is when each page of a website adheres to the same consistent layout and style, and this is very important. When a user browses through the pages of the website, the consistent style provides them predictability and thus ease of navigation and aesthetic comfort.